All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have your watch list coming into May 10th, 2019, and it's going to be a good one. And it's looking like Trump is going to be putting the tariffs into effect now at midnight. The trade talks are over. The deadline is in about 3 hours from now at midnight Eastern time, and we are going to see, but there is updates already letting us know what's going to happen. So here are the futures. Literally, they popped off of one tweet that things were looking good, and then they said the meetings were over, and then it dropped and then came up. It's everything's hypersensitive. So tomorrow is going to be crazy. Wait. Before we get into this, we had the giveaway today, and I have to announce this. And whoa, something's happening. I already finished this video. What perfect timing. So you guys have a whole watch list video coming in after this, but this is happening now. So I'm checking the news. This is honestly what it's like on the stream, so make sure you're there. But something's happened. I was going to tell you guys for the giveaway, we had a lot of disputes, and enough evidence showed that the way we did it was inaccurate. So post your watch list below. I'm going to put random names in a random name generator, and we're going to select them tomorrow morning. So if you want to win a free stream alerts, we're giving one of those away for free for a month, and we're also giving away 3 real estate courses. So comment below. That's all you got to do. Peace. I have something to look out for tomorrow. I have specific industries in plays. We need to get into this. You guys better stay focused and get in the game. I'm going to see you on stream in the morning, 30 minutes before open. If you miss out on it, that's that. We have the Uber IPO, so there's going to be a lot, and we have to still see really coming into 9 o'clock. I mean, watching the futures. I want to stream. I'm probably not going to, though. We need to get our rest for this, but it's going to be exciting. So let's get into this. Let's get right into the expectations, and we'll talk about really the status here of what's going on. Oh, you guys have to make sure you like the video. But this is what we thought. Oh, whoa. That's for today. This is what we thought for yesterday. Again, last updated there. But I still think it's the same thing. I'm still looking for the pump fake. We got it. It's still, again, things are being sensitive. So coming in today, I'm not even looking at earnings, anything like that, and tomorrow's Friday. But watch the autos, and this is going to make sense when I talk about what happened here with the tariffs, because there is still a window of negotiation and leaves room for some surprises from Mr. Trump. But the key for tomorrow, the farmer scatters his seeds. Scale in with small amounts in a lot of places with a lot of time. It can go a long way. But the idea is this is still uncertain now, because now there is this window and we're waiting for stuff, and that's where the autos are going to come in. But the whole idea, scaling in all over the place, kind of, calls and puts, because we still don't know what happens and how things set up and how the market digests, and even what we're seeing from the futures and everything right now is giving us hints and indication of that. So keep that in mind, but really, I'm still looking for a fade. That's it. We have the pump still. I'm looking for the fade. They said that, I would expect some level of deal made, and then we still get hit with the retaliatory tariffs by China or something of that nature. Now, this is where it comes into play. Now, this is where it's weird, because even we'll show you some of the 8, here's the stocks. The Nikki's already open, and the ASX, and they're not really moving much. We have to watch how the Shanghai composite moves tomorrow. But like I've been telling you guys, with the indicator being the Chinese yuan, it's actually strengthening. So it's responding quite positively. And it was weird that the U.S. came out with some news. They labeled Vietnam as a currency manipulator, and that is related to even Samsung and iPhones and stuff like that. But more importantly here, looking at the tariffs and everything that's going on right now, this is what happened with the deal. So again, this isn't giving us much indication. We're going to watch tomorrow and really watch what happens with the Shanghai composite. But the talks are over now. So the vice premier left the meeting. They're not discussing this anymore. And the reports are pretty much coming that Trump is going to raise it. So again, that's in 3 hours here. However, the indications they gave and what they plan to do now, this is where it gets tricky. It's different than the last tariffs in September. Now, I read some of this from, again, the news is still all over the place. I got some of this from a Zero Hedge article, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm giving my spin on it with, I do agree with it to some sense, because it sets up a very unique situation and window for Trump to negotiate, but now it's a in-transit clause. So that he's saying, so right at 12, the tariffs are going to go up on those goods, but it's going to be on goods that left the U.S. after, or China, or enter, if the goods left after May 10th and then enter pretty much when they leave. Whereas September, it was based upon any goods that entered. So it didn't matter. The tariffs were put in place. Item came into the United States. The tariffs were there. This is now having to do based on when they were sent and shipped out. So it's kind of like a tranche or something in the future, but this gives them a window now to negotiate where essentially you could backdate it. You know, they could put stuff in motion or say, hey, throw this out there. You know, they could put stuff, send it to another country, or it could be quote unquote in limbo, and they could still work out a deal. And then after that, he's pretty much he could hold their goods hostage, but then at the same time kind of bill them for whatever route they have to go around it. So it's good because and that's why I think the market's not taking this as hard, because the market could view this as, hey, they could still work something out. So that's why even over the weekend coming into this, it's going to give Trump some time to say, hey, we got a deal, and boom. Now, because he has leverage now with that too. Again, even what we've talked about with where China's at as well too. But now here's the negative part, and now this leads to the plays and all the stuff we even want to watch tomorrow. And again, we're watching the futures drop now. We do want to see what happens, and any updates from China will be important, because the negative aspect of how this could be interpreted is, even though this is a negotiating tactic, how is China going to react? Because this is save face, you know. What are they going to, you know, this isn't respectful or good, because now China has said if the United States does anything like this, they are going to respond with a retaliatory tariff. So this is politics, and this is where it comes down to it now, because I could picture Obama, well, we have a red line, and we said that we're going to do this. So if you raise our tariffs, we're going to do it. So picture that with the Chinese version now. Trump went ahead. He's being aggressive, bull in a China shop. How are they going to respond to that now, even though they could negotiate if they want to, but now they're at a worse off. It's really more of a threatening negotiation, or are they going to do what they said they do? And, you know, politics and anything like this, tit for tat. You do this, I do that. You do this, you do that. I think they say eye for an eye, world goes blind, something along those lines. So at what level are they going to cooperate? And again, we talked about this on stream. This is where the markets come into play. So we're watching this for tomorrow, but this is even going to span even in coming into next week and everything else. So that is the situation. So now what happened the last time, I believe in September, or I forgot, we need to check the dates. So actually it was at multiple times back around 2018, even from April and when they got enacted. But remember, China did retaliatory tariffs. They already responded back doing this. So they've already announced some in last April, but I believe here July 6th is when some were supposed to take effect. The market ripped, even like August 2nd or 3rd, or August 6th, 7th, and the market went up. And then they've made a few announcements. The markets have gone up on some of them and dropped on some, but watch out for it. But it has affected industries like the auto industry, Caterpillar, and agriculture. So I am looking at the General Motors, and I'm also looking at the Caterpillar as well. But at the end of the day, that is the important thing, because that could show escalation, and I think that could be a piece, you know, if people are like, oh, wait, retaliatory tariffs, the first reaction could surprise them when they get implemented. The market could pop up on it, but that could show something negative, or again, the market could overall take that negative. But now here's the thing, you know, even look at China's economy. Isn't it funny, you know, a lot of people want to go after Trump and say that the tariffs hurt the consumer. It ultimately gets passed down to the consumer, and you know, assuming that is true, and it does to a very actually degree, a big degree. The other part is China's doing the same thing, so it's affecting China's consumer, and it's slowing that. So again, eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind. You'll have both consumers on both sides are experiencing that tightening. So that's why this is going to be important, how this develops. And again, it's kind of in the later stages. We'll see, but that's what we're watching. So now as far as the plays, I'm going to look at stuff like GM and Ford, but there's also the automakers that go down. I feel there's like Tanaka and Rubber. Oh, yeah, you guys got to post your watch list below. So again, any of this in tomorrow on stream, I'm going to call all these industries. I would be on watch for it, but a lot of these will even be swing trades as well. But watch GM, watch Caterpillar. I made a play on the Caterpillar. Now, I like something about the Caterpillar. There's two things, and you'll notice something here for the contracts. Caterpillar made a big move, and we played these. I played the May 17th, and that we got these yesterday, and you could go anywhere, out of the money and see. They went up a lot. They still closed up, but they shot up $1.22 to $3. Even these ones out of the money. I got some further out of the money. I have to double check, but they went from 50 cents, $1.60, about 300%, and they came down. And although I like these are kind of the weeklies, but you'll notice, and this is what I've been telling you guys with the Junes and the time, those went up a lot and came down, and they're still, slightly up from the day before. It's still not a percentage to balk at, but you go look at the Junes, they made a big move, but not as much. And especially if you're out of the money, they actually held up. So some of these here, it says 51, or actually no, these Junes were actually still there. Yeah, you could have got these here. See, that last trade was there, but if you could have got it here at 39, these aren't bad. So I think that's where it starts to break. So that's what I was saying. But now this is where you guys got to watch out. These contracts become good, and you notice they didn't affect the premium. So I like these if it moves. I think the Mays are a better deal, but I'm going to watch these to see if these get killed. But this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. Watch out for the price difference. That's a $5 move in the stock. So when you're watching a stock like Caterpillar, that's why these plays are all crazy. It's a $5 increment. That's a big move on the stock. But either way, I'm going to watch those. I'm keeping those on watch. I got some of those. I also like the Microsoft puts. So I like the Caterpillar. I also picked up Disney puts today, and I like them because, again, I'm looking for something that could just get me exposure if everything does come down. But again, now, too, at the same time, I am going to look for calls. So that's why Disney and Microsoft come up as well, too, because the same reason that I'd want to go for the puts is the same reason I would want to go for the calls. And that is the reasoning behind it being the earnings and what's holding it up and the reason why they're up. And they've been up, so the puts further out of the money with time are going to be a lot cheaper just naturally because it's further from the money, but it has room to drop. But the positive is it has stuff keeping it up. So that's Microsoft and Disney. But Disney, it's kind of like Qualcomm, but it's not like Qualcomm because Qualcomm got actually billions of dollars. Disney went up because of a service and expectations and then the earnings. So that, you can't even tell where the earnings happen, and this is when the expectations. So those could change with the market, and if stuff go down, that's different than Qualcomm. And Microsoft had good earnings, so it doesn't follow the same reason, but I like these puts. Even June, you could go out. I need to double check which one. We'll go over on pre-market. All of these I will be going over on pre-market, but even June in general. And again, have it meet your budget. And like I said, you guys, you paper trade it. You could go with a little bit amount of money, but paper trade, get different times and durations and see and test out your theories there with it. But these are the ones I'm watching, and I like the Disneys for that reason because it could give up and it won't hold up. But now on the reverse, if the market does start going up, these are holding up. Even Disney holding here by not giving up. It's showing the market is placing some value. Same thing now even with Microsoft, but Microsoft could give some of it up as well as it already has. And even Apple now has shown even after a decent earnings or a good earnings, it could still give it up. So that's why I also like Microsoft on the put. But at the same time, we're jumping all over the place. Disney, again, it's up a lot more, and it still hasn't dropped. So I like those puts if it does surprise. But again, why they could go up, and that would be a reason why I'd want to get Apple too in my insurance position. If you guys see, I was close. I was up $1,400 on it. I made back $1,400. I was still down $4,700 on this to Apple. But if I sold, you guys would notice I'm only down $3,600 here now. If I sold my insurance when they were up, and then this going up, I would have actually been up by now. So I didn't maneuver it as properly as I could have. So you guys are seeing that. And again, that's by when you do any straddles or insurance or anything, when you buy an option that can expire and go to zero, you're putting more money on the table. But with the Disney and the Microsoft, these could come up if the market is going to pop up. If there is something that could keep it up, they have their earnings and the market will want to go up with it. But why they would want to be the ones I would get if the market was going to go up and react positively, they're holding up for a reason and the market likes them. The calls might be a little expensive. So again, and tomorrow might be a play for some weeklies. I mean, you could at least try to make one of them if you really want to take that risk. It's literally gambling. And again, here's the crazy part with everything we have in the news. That same $20 for 1 week out, even if it's further out the money, if anything, that's what I'm saying, scatter some of these seeds. We have to see for volatility. So that is what's going to determine is now the time to plant the seeds. is by seeing how the market responds and seeing if it is brewing up that volatility and what we could get from there. So that's pretty much it, you guys. A lot of this is going to happen pre-market, and what we're going to go over, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet for you guys. You better be on there in the morning. Watch for any developments. Post your watch list. Be there in the morning. And if you are going to miss it, make sure you're on the stream alerts. Oh, I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video, but let's go.